Okay, Madam Lee, can go ahead.
Okay, doctor, are you there?
Yes, I'm very much there.
Okay.
Okay, can we go ahead?
Yes, doctor.
Fantastic. Very good evening to all the beautiful guests down here, and a fantastic evening for the Terahertz family. So we are here once again back on action to give you a little bit of information on our life, our water, and the terahertz technology, which has been there for the past 4 years. And for me, being in the medical fraternity, it gives me a lot of advantage in looking into how this beautiful elixir of life, which is called water, which plays a very, very important role in our day-to-day life. Now, when you look at the today's topic, basically why I put it as a passion to drink water, it's very simple. When you look at the world population, 80% of the people on Earth are not consuming sufficient amount of water. Now, due to various reasons. One is they may not be able to get the water. That's on the first side. But on the other side, we do have sufficient amount of water, but we don't have the time to consume that sufficient amount of water in our day-to-day activities. So when you look at most of the time, it's because of your dehydration, which results in many forms of diseases, which of course, the moment we get into the medical fraternity, we will actually fix a diagnosis for it and then probably look for the disease which is caused because of the lack of drinking water. So we are not looking at the basic why you were not drinking water. So here it's a very, very important topic today, that why you should be passionate in drinking water. Now, saying that, let's go to the next slide. So what is very, very important for all of us is, before we proceed, of course, I need to thank all the beautiful family here, and to George especially, which I know him for almost now 4 years, Ryan and other team. Frankie was here yesterday with his leaders from Philippines. Thank you very much, Frankie, if you're there. And at the end of the day, we all are here on one platform called the human platform. So irrespective of our background of a religious belief system, we all fall into a category called human. We are all one species. That's it. So on this ground, it's a very, very beautiful honor for me to be here to share this beautiful information with every one of you. And of course, I have done almost 83, another 17 to go for creating 100 episodes, I think, which would be the first of its kind on planet Earth on water, and episode for every 1 hour. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Saying that, what's passion basically? If you look at passion, see, we all have passions for different areas of our own interests. Now, when you look at the passion for a lot of people, it can be in the world of materialism, wherein they would be looking for money, luxuries, to be wealthy, to drive big cars, to have big homes, and have a comfortable life. But many times what happens in the pursuit of passion, of getting into the materialistic world, at the end of the day, maybe around 30 years or 40 years of journey, what happens is you will have all the money under the sun, but there will be a lot of other issues which has been dropping inside your body, which in turn would manifest in the form of a disease, or in terms of certain unhappiness, which can be because of some situations, because of your wealth. So when you are looking at passion, basically it's a strong liking or a desire for or devotion to some activity, an object, or a concept of life. Now, if you have a passion to be here on the Terahertz platform every week, that's basically a passion. Now, why are you here? Basically, probably you're looking for some information, and probably you're looking at the business part of Terahertz group, and probably you want to just share the water, nothing else. You're not going to do business, but you're just going to share the Terahertz resonated water. Ultimately, it's a passion. So when we are having the passion, what happens is we all would definitely get into that particular modality of foundation, wherein we won't think twice, we'll just go with it because it's your passion. So in that way, there are a lot of things we can do when we have a passion. And on this Terahertz platform, don't you think it's an amazing concept that we are all gathering here for the 83rd week consecutively, and it has been 3 years right now on this platform. I feel very elated. I feel very satisfied. It's something to do with your soul happiness. And I get excited the moment I'm going to talk on a topic. But the challenge every time I go through is, how do I prepare? How do I present? What are the slides I'm supposed to give? What is the information I'm going to give for the people who are all coming down here on this platform? So saying that, I think this one, every one of you know this principle of life, which is called ikigai, which is a very, very simple Japanese concept of life. And basically, what is it? If you look at what is this ikigai, is basically the principle of thyself. That means it's yourself, nothing else. So you look at your journey of life. So your life must have a purpose. Now, many times I have seen people asking, what's my purpose of life, doc? I really don't know. Knowing the purpose of life is not a big rocket science. It's not at all a big rocket science. It's a very, very simple concept, which as we go through, I think you should be able to understand it. And if you go to the specific meaning of iki, means life, and gai basically is kai, which is nothing but a shell. So it's basically a shell of life. But on the other side, when you look at life, the other name for life is bio. Bio means life, life. And what is the shell is, what is your purpose? Why did you take this beautiful human body on this platform? You can consider this body as a shell. Now, what is the purpose of this particular shell you took as a human being? You could have been an animal. You could have been a lion. You could have been a tiger. You could have been a snake. You could have been a bird. You could have been a plant, a tree. It can be anything under that. There are trillions of species. Now, among those species, if you are a human being, don't you think there is something beyond just being born as a human being? And don't you think that we all need to look into, why are we here? What is the purpose of life? Is it that you want to earn money? Is it that you want to have a luxury? Yes, these are all very, very, it's a path of life. You are supposed to enjoy every moment of this life on planet Earth. So when you look at this ikigai principle, we'll go to the next slide. Now, where did it start all about? The ikigai principle is basically from Okinawa in Japan. It's a beautiful island and covered by the sea, and it's in the South Sea. Now, what exactly happened was between the 7th and 11th century, this principle was basically brought into existence, wherein it was a practical approach towards life. But not until the year 1966, this principle was brought into the worldly life, where people were looking into these principles and started practicing it. And the most beautiful good news for every one of us on this Okinawa land is, the people live there, minimum is 100 years. The centenarians are common there. You can see every other person is 100 years old. Now, why is that? Because once you know what is the purpose of life, and once you know how to handle your emotions, how to handle your day-to-day life, how to handle your finances, how to handle your professional life, how to handle your personal life, everything starts falling at ease. Only when you are jumbling up your life in rat race, which is a typical city life, we definitely get confused. We definitely get involved into a confusion of illusion, wherein we definitely get diverted from the mainstream of the purpose of what you are supposed to do. So saying that, there is another very important origin from this Okinawa is, have you heard of karate? Kung Fu karate and all? This particular land was the place where karate first started. Basically, it's hands, because those days there was a particular group of people who went and invaded this particular land, and then they grabbed all the whatever weapons they had. So finally, these people didn't have any weapons. So what did they do? They used this hands basically to self-defense. That's how the karate came into existence, was self-defense. Now the whole world is learning this particular self-defense called karate. So Okinawa, number one is your ikigai, and number two is your karate, which comes from Okinawa. So saying that, what happens to the next? To get to know what we want, what we need to do, what are you supposed to do? You should know what you want to do, right? The first step of this particular moment of knowing what you want is a change. You need to have a change. If you do not have a change, nothing will move. Now, in the change, what are the things? Two things you need to do is very, very simple is you need to change the circumstances. And the second is you need to change your mindset. Now, when you change these two, your mindset and your circumstance, and the right things with the right mindset, we enter into a flow. What flow is that called? Living in the moment flow. That means you live for that moment. It's an amazing concept. When you live for the moment, everything starts falling in place. But in this universe or in this planet Earth, what happens? Most of us are fully tuned from our childhood what to do. As a child, you have been told you should become an engineer, you should become a doctor, you should become a lawyer or whatever. We have been told and bombarded with that information from our parents. And as an adult, how should you behave yourself? What you should do? Whom should you marry? It's decided by your parents. And what should you do in your life? It's decided by your parents. What kind of business you should do? Decided by your parents. Many things we have been tuned and tuned and tuned. But today's generation is little different. They all are looking very, very independent. And then, of course, they make a lot of decisions on their own, what they need to do, what they want in their life. They are very, very clear. But there also, I would say, on one side, it's beautiful that these beautiful youngsters are able to decide what they want. But if they all can follow this principle of ikigai, I think the world will be a beautiful place for every one of us. And at the end of the day, whoever is going to live the next 75 years or 100 years, the journey of their path will be so beautiful that they will live life to the fullest of their journey and the requirement why they came as a human being, and they will leave the body and go. So for which, even as an youngster, with all the beautiful attitude, with all the beautiful positiveness you all have, with all the beautiful educational background, amazing, you all go to one of the top universities and then, get educated in different fields. It's amazing. We salute you for whoever you are. But look into this particular ikigai principle of life and then start implementing in your day-to-day life and start practicing it. Things will start changing to move forward. So what is the basic principle of knowing the purpose? There are 4 different things according to this particular ikigai principle is, number 1, do what you are good at. It's very simple, isn't it? Do what you are good at. Number 2, love what you do. That means you should create that passion to do that particular, like in my case, let me always give an example of myself. I did my MBBS. Then I went into ear, nose and throat surgical field, which was not at all my requirement. I was crazy of pediatrics. That means I wanted to become a child specialist. But ultimately I got ENT. So I went into ENT. Then after that, I did practice ENT for quite a bit of number of years, of almost 15 years I was practicing. I was doing very good. But today, if you ask me, I'm not into that ENT field at all. I'm into epigenetics. Now, how did this happen? What I did was, I think I was following the ikigai principle indirectly without my knowledge. I started changing. In ikigai principle, you need to change according to the circumstances and you need to adapt yourself to the newer requirement. Now, if you just imagine, if I have not done this epigenetic diploma and then I am here on almost 7 years, I wouldn't be able to reverse diabetes, reverse blood pressure, and help a lot of people to become healthier. I wouldn't be doing that. So it becomes a passion for me now. I'm working, I love to talk to people. I love to give talks like this on the platform. That's all. You won't believe this 83 is why, because I do have that beautiful inner craze, inner passion to do this sharing of information. That is number 2. Number 3, do what the world needs. So now, what does the world need? The world needs healthy lifestyle. This is what I am looking at. After the COVID situation, a lot of people, of course, they left the universe and they have gone back, but there are a lot of people who are suffering. There are a lot of people who are having medical ailments. In fact, today morning, I received a message from my doctor's fraternity that one of my very close friend, 54-year, he's a neurosurgeon. And he was putting they were preparing for a surgery. and he had a massive heart attack and he died on spot on the table in the operation theater. This happened just today morning. Now, this is a message I received. Now, how pathetic it is. We human beings are so fragile. We don't even know how long we are going to live. We don't even know what would be the next moment of life. Imagine a neurosurgeon, a busy practitioner, patient on the operating table. He's supposed to be operated, and this beautiful surgeon walks in there and supposed to operate the table. He collapses and he dies. Now, there is something which is very sad to share you is he just took the vaccination booster dose 3 days ago. Now, what exactly happened? Nobody knows. He just took the vaccination 3 days ago, and after that, this thing has happened. But we all don't know for what reason, but something not good. An eminent neurosurgeon is no more. Now, this is what is. So here, if you look at do what the world needs, what I am doing is, of course, I'm looking at how do I help people to become more healthier. So I'm not interested in the diseases. I would be more interested in teaching people the basics of life. How do you, carry on your day-to-day life? What kind of food you should eat? What kind of nutrition? What kind of nutraceuticals? And how do you recognize your ailments? Now, these are the things which I'm doing. Now, from your side, in whatever profession you are, if you are here on this platform of terahertz, what you can do to the world, sharing water, sharing the information about terahertz is good enough. You can just go and share this information left and right to anybody because water is a very, very important ingredient of our day-to-day life. But finally, with all these three, you need to get paid. This is what is one of the most beautiful aspect, which I like that this ikigai principle is you get paid for it. If you get paid for it, that means all the four together is ikigai principle. Now, are we getting paid for everything, whatever we do? Are we getting paid for whatever the world needs and you go and do it? And will you be getting paid for it? Many times we may not be able to, or we may not even look into that aspect. But this is what is the basic principle of the ikigai. And this is where I want you to look into it. But I'm going to blend this beautiful thing with our passion of drinking water. So here, if you look at the basic 4 stages, what you're looking at here on this platform Earth is you're looking at is 1, 2, 3, and 4. What you're good at, as I already showed you, then what you would love and what the world needs and what you can be paid for. That means these are the 4 beautiful steps of combination. So what are we going to do is, let's go and see. Let's take the first step. What is that? What you're good at and what you love to do. It can be called as a passion, something very beautiful. It's passion, amazing, isn't it? It's called passion, but just passion alone will not give you the ikigai principle. It doesn't fulfill the criteria. So what do we need to do? We go to the next one. What you love to do and what the world needs, if you start working on it, it is called a machine. So that means you have a mission to accomplish. So that is called a mission. But here also, it doesn't work that way because many times you want to do something for the world, but it doesn't work for you to get paid. This is what a lot of people are doing, but at the end of the day, your mission is not fulfilled because it doesn't serve the purpose for the world, or maybe what you love to do, maybe the world doesn't like. What happens is, let me show you one beautiful example. What you love to do. If you are looking at the scammers today, the scammers, basically the internet scammers, they love to do that left and right. But does the world need that? No, it doesn't need it. But so what happens? The person's mission is basically scamming. That's what his mission is. But the world doesn't need it. So like that, you should also understand that many times our mission may not be a necessity for this world. Then what is that? Get paid for it. What the world needs and get paid for it. I'll give you another very beautiful example. Just imagine the garbage lorry, trucks, drivers, and the people who are all working to dispose the garbage. Now, if those people are not there, how the world will be? It will be stinking, isn't it? So that means the world needs that and they get paid for it. That means professionally, they are all amazing, beautiful souls on planet Earth, irrespective of what they do. But ultimately, without them, nothing can move forward. So that means every beautiful soul on this world has an occasion wherein they get paid for whatever the world needs. So it's an amazing situation. This is number 3. Then we go to the next one. That is your profession. What is your profession? Like in my case, my profession is basically an epigenetic or a doctor. So what you're good at, what am I good at? I'm basically a doctor on one side, but there are a lot of other internal, I would say, specialties which I am good at, and then I'm working on it. So what happens is I get paid for it. I do my consultation and I get paid for it. But here also, a lot of people may be in the same profession, but they may not be very happy in going and doing the work, but they'll be getting paid. Have you seen a lot of people telling you today morning, I have to go back to work, from morning until evening, I still have to work and with the same boss, with the other people around, you're not happy in that profession. It can be a lecturing job. It can be outside going and working in the sun. It can be anything. But at the end of the day, you're not happy. So there are a lot of people who are professionals, but not happy in that particular field of whatever they are doing. So here you need to recognize what is that which makes you to have a passion and have a vision, have a mission, have a vocation, and have a profession as well to move forward to follow the ikigai principle. So what is the basic purpose of this particular ikigai? Basically, our life. What is that you want to do? If you are going to follow the ikigai principle, what will happen is it's to serve, serve humanity. Is to create. What do you want to create? You want to create some congenial atmosphere for the society, congenial situation wherein you share the information to delight people. See, when you get excited by listening to our platform here on Terahertz about Terahertz sharing, it's a delight. For me, it's a delight. So I delight you people. And I'm also on the other side, when I see you delighted, it becomes a very beautiful, soulful happiness for me as well. So to delight is another purpose of life. You need to nourish. How do you nourish? Nourish can be in terms of helping people, going all the way, giving water to them. The terahertz resonated water, you can go and give them. Then what is that? Next is to provide. Is there any, what you can provide? You can provide information. You can teach them how to handle terahertz resonators and how to sell the instrument. All these you can teach. Now to heal, the basic purpose of healing. Of course, if you are a healer, of course, you can use your energies to heal. But here what happens? On this platform, we have a terahertz water, which also can help you in healing. When you drink the terahertz water regularly, there is a lot of healing process happening within your body in terms of energy, in terms of your cellular healing, in terms of repair, in terms of rejuvenation. All this will happen on its own when you just drink water. Even though we don't give any instruction to our body to heal, your body will start healing. Then to connect, what is the purpose of human being? We all can go and live in a forest where we don't get connected to anybody, right? We can do that. But is that life? No, we need to get connected. So if you're talking about getting connected, our platform is another very good platform wherein you all can get connected. Now the situation is, why is that every time when we see on this platform, we are only seeing only 94 people or 95 people or 100 people? What's happening to the other people? Aren't you passionate enough to share this information? Why is that you are not doing it? Why is that you are not sharing it? Why is that you are not able to increase the number here? Is that I am wasting my time or you people are wasting your time? Now, this is the biggest question I need to ask myself on this platform, because on this day, I have to tell you that without you committing yourself, see, I am committing myself every week on Sunday, 1 hour. And you don't imagine, it's not just 1 hour. I'm coming and sitting between 8 to 9 and I'm going. From afternoon 1 o'clock, I'm preparing all the way until now. It's almost 8 hours. Now, why should I spend my 8 hours? I'd rather do something and get paid for it, isn't it? Don't you think that will be a better option for me? But still, my passion is I want to teach. So every week, I think I request every one of you who make sure that, as Madam Lee already told you, it's your duty to make sure that you bring it. If you do not have the passion, then why are you here? You should make it happen, that let people know. So in that way, you should create, you should get connect, you should build. If there is no building here and it is going to be the same for the next 1 year, why should I waste my time here? I rather ask someone from the group, say, okay, fine, next time if everybody comes, let them pay and let them come. I rather speak only if I am paid for it. So like this, there are certain things we all need to work on. It's a teamwork we need to build. So Ikigai principle is basically we all need to build. And we need to elevate our higher consciousness. Don't you think it's very important? Higher consciousness is whatever you're thinking, you need to look beyond what you're thinking today. You need to look beyond. If you're talking about terahertz water, look beyond how the water can help people in terms of healing, in terms of helping them in a particular situation. I'm not talking diseases, but at least you can become much more healthier. But at the end of the day, what do you want to do? You want to have a state of bliss. You want to live a very beautiful, blissful, happy, peaceful life, isn't it? So for that, if you are looking at that kind of lifestyle, you need to create it. Nothing is going to come to you just like that. We all have to work for it. So saying that, what is the ikigai principle of drinking water? Why should I connect that here into the drinking of water? Very important. The first principle, do what you are good at. Now, here, the most beautiful thing, drinking water sufficiently is very, very important. You are good at it. I know that. Then why is that you're not doing it? Why is that you're not drinking sufficient amount of water? Why are you dehydrating your body and create some issues and then finally come back to us? And then as doctors, then we treat you, then we start treating you with the diseases. So that's the first principle, is do what you're good at. That means you're good at drinking water. You better drink sufficient amount of water. That's number one. Number two, love what you do. That means if you're drinking the water, you should be drinking water sufficiently regularly. You should love it, actually. You cannot give excuses saying, sorry, I don't have time. You cannot give excuses. So you should love drinking water. That is the second principle of life. Then do what the world needs. What is that? World needs to be known that you need to drink sufficient amount of water. In that, we have a beautiful situation here is the terahertz resonated water is available. So why not? The world doesn't know. There are a lot of people who don't even know about terahertz resonated water. So why can't you share the information? So you do share. Then finally get paid for it. How will you get paid for it? It's a business as well. So look into the business aspect, get paid for it. But if you think you want the payment in terms of blessings, yes, it's another very beautiful thing. When you give free water, when you donate water to people, and when they drink and then they are so happy that they are able to come out of certain situations of their life in terms of diseases, they will bless you, isn't it? Even though you may not be charging anything, you're just giving free water, it's still fine. You get paid because everything on this planet Earth need not be equal to money. It can be in terms of your physical support. It can be in terms of moral support. It can be financial support. It can be, basically a moral support by going and giving the water itself is good enough for us. So when you look at the ikigai drinking principles of water, all the four fill into our requirement of our day-to-day life. Now, with the ikigai principle, what happens? See, this is a very, very important word I'm sharing you. Your pursuit becomes effortless. That means whatever you do in your life will become effortless. You don't need to put any effort because it's like, in a river, when you just swim along the flow of the river, it's much more easier than, going against the current of the river. So you should go with the flow of the river so that your end result of going and joining the ocean is always easier. In the same way, we all as human beings come on planet Earth. We all need to sail our journey of life. So how do we sail in our journey of life is we need to have an effortless journey of life wherein you smartly put in whatever efforts you want to put. Please put in smart. Please put in your effort very smartly so that everything starts working very easily. That means what you can do it in 1 hour. If you're doing it from the basic passion, your love, everything, it will be done within 5 to 10 minutes. You should be able to do that. So you should work on that ikigai principle wherein you should have a effortless getting things done. Then your body is like the world. If you consider this universe as a simple world separately, this by itself is another universe and it needs water. Without water, your body will not be able to survive. So here, how does it pay back? Now you do something for the body. How the body will pay back is when you drink sufficient amount of water, your health. Now this is something very, very, I'm not talking the diseases. I'm talking about good health. And your cellular health is much, much better. If your hydration is good, if your nutrition is good, if your oxygenation is good, definitely your body is much more healthier. So don't you think it is something with the ikigai principle wherein you are able to give something to your body and then you get paid back? In what way? You get paid back in terms of being healthy. Now, we go back to our cellular health, which is what is we all need to understand. Our body has 4 stages of our path, wherein the disease starts from the cell, then it goes on to the tissue, then to the organ, and to the human body. But most of the time, we do not see the diseases in the cell or the tissue because it is not a disease at that time. The only time it is called as a disease is when the organs are getting affected. That is when, for example, if you see in the blood, there is a dengue fever positiveness, that is when you will understand that you have a dengue fever. But before that, the cells would have, like the mosquito biting, immediately nothing you do, you don't see anything, isn't it? Of course, the mosquito bite goes inside and then starts the infection. It takes at least minimum 1 to 2 days before you even see that it is in the blood. So like that, everything starts at the cell. So if you're starting at the cell, we need to go back to the cell and then correct whatever wrong things has been done on this planet Earth. It can be in the form of food. It can be in the form of lack of drinking water. It can be in your lifestyle. It can be lack of sleep. It can be lack of exercise. Name it, it can be. But it has to start from the cellular level. So when you're talking at cellular level, this is what is all epigenetics is all about is we are talking about changing the health of the cell through nutrition. It can be, right now, if you are looking at nutrition per day, every human being needs 92 vitamins, minerals, trace elements, amino acids, proteins, and we are talking about fat and carbohydrates. All joined together, it's around 92. Now, we may be sufficiently eating around 30 to 40 or maximum 50 of vitamins, which will be sufficient enough for the body to function. But there are very, very important nutrients and trace elements which can decrease over a period of time because you're not eating properly, number one. Number two, it may not be absorbed from your intestine because your intestine is not very healthy. And other than that, we do face a lot of issues with in terms of radiation, in terms of chemicals, in terms of parasites. So there are so many factors which can affect your cellular health, and that in turn can deplete your nutrition. If your nutrition deficiency is there, how does it? How can you be healthy? Many times I notice that vitamin C plays a very, very important role in our life because most of my testing when we do in the bioresonance and the hair analysis, we see that vitamin C deficiency is quite a bit. Zinc deficiency is quite a bit. B complex, very, very commonly, I see a lot of B complex deficiency. I see a lot of people having parasites. But of course, they don't have any symptoms of parasite in the stomach. They don't have. But in the hair testing, we are able to pick it up and then we are able to really clear the parasites and then they become much more healthier. So it is a very challenging situation that maintaining this 50 trillion cells and then, with the kind of work, we are so busy in our job, there are so many factors playing a role in that we may not be able to fully concentrate on our health. But still, I would say we all need to allocate certain time and then start working on taking care of our health and then making your cellular health much more, I would say, healthier. So coming back to the principles of water, what you need to is you should have a passion to drink sufficient amount of water. And your mission is to what? To have a cellular health. This is very, very important. Huh? I'm not talking about mission is to have disease-free lifestyle. I'm not even using the word disease-free lifestyle. I'm talking about cellular health. So mission to cellular health. This plays a very, very important role. Vocation, what is that? How do you get paid for it? When you share this information of terahertz, it's definitely, on one side, definitely it'll bring back money for you. But if you're talking about vocation for your own self, how does it get paid? You become much more healthier by drinking sufficient amount of water. You become much more healthier. Now, at the end of the day, what is your profession? It can be considered here on this platform. Why? Because you can take terahertz as a business and then do it as a profession. Or you can talk about water. You can give talks about water. You can talk about health. There are so many things you can do. All these can be done provided you look into it as a profession. But many times you already will be in a profession where you are probably an engineer, probably a computer analyst or lawyer, whoever it is. But you can do a part-time situation wherein you can talk about water, talk about health, and make people understand that there is something beautiful available on this planet Earth, so that they all can look into it. Sharing of knowledge itself can be one of the beautiful experiences a soul can have, and then you will be very, very happy when you see another person getting healed after drinking this water. Like today morning also, I had one person was telling me, doctor, after drinking this water, I feel so nice. There were a lot of issues I had. It's all cleared now. I feel good. No, it's something very, very beautiful when you see another person happy because from your side you assisted them in giving this information. So at the end of the day, I always tell that you may speak to 1,000 people about this water, but maybe only 10 people will come to you and then probably buy the instrument or even buy the water. It's still okay. It doesn't matter. As long as you go on sharing this information and knowledge to the people, you upgrade yourself. See, the moment you start working on picking up the information, definitely you will be. Now see, with the today's world of advent of internet facility and the Google, you can go into the ikigai principle, pick up a lot of information. There are a lot of videos available there. I'm not giving something very different. But what I tried to do was just bring that principle into the terahertz situation wherein water, and then try to explain it, and then try to fit into this platform so that it will be easy for you to understand. But in the same way, you also can do a lot of things wherein the principle is the same, but you can actually fit in a lot of what you want in your life and then start moving forward to work on this particular mission of life. Now, saying that, what's the next slide? Okay, the purpose of drinking of water must be for your existence, nothing else, nothing else. Because many times people will be asking me, doc, if I drink this water, can my disease go away? Can I get rid of this problem? This is what most of the time, it's fine, it's good, because they are enthusiastic in getting healed, because they are fed up with the whatever medication they are taking, and at the end of the day, there is no benefit out of the situation. So they are looking for some solution. But what I would say is, focus on cellular health. That should be a focus. Speak to your body and speak like the most easy way for you to understand how the universe works. If you're looking at the disease, if you talk about the disease a lot, there is a disease vibration you create and you're attracting that. But if you're talking about cellular health, you're talking something positive. So you should use words which create positive vibration by talking about what you don't want. So if you don't want a disease to come, don't tell, I don't want the disease. You should not tell that. You cannot even use the word, I don't want the disease. See, when there is a lack in your journey of life, like for example, financial, if you don't have money, now what are you going to do? Will you pray God's asking for, I don't have money, God, please give me? God means what the God will do? You're asking the universe that you don't have money. That means you lack something. When you lack something, what will happen is the universe will bless you with more lacking only, but it won't give you in abundance. So one of the easiest way for you to live on planet Earth is be grateful, have gratitude, be thankful for what you have. You may have 10 ringgits in your bank. So what? It's fine. Just say thank you to the 10 ringgits. Good enough. Tomorrow you will get 20 ringgits. Maybe the day after, maybe you'll get 100 ringgits. Now, I see a lot of human beings who have financial constraint, financial difficulties. Why? It's because it's they who have created that situation to that level. But if you're comfortably living with whatever finances, it can be abundance of finances or without abundance with little bit of whatever. It's just like hand to mouth. We can call it as hand to mouth. That means your salary is just nice for you to pay your bills, for you to take care of your day-to-day life, not much of saving. It's still fine. You know why? Just imagine, as I shared with you today morning, this neurosurgeon doesn't have any issues with the money, but today is no more. At this moment, he is not here. So like that, if you see, there are a lot of things your money will not be able to give you what you want. But if you're a happy person with whatever contentment you have, life becomes a very beautiful journey for you to move forward. So make water as an integral part of your life and body. Hence, be passionate in drinking water. See, once again, I come back to the same principle of life. You need to be passionate. That means if at all, For example, like yesterday, there was someone, when I was telling them you're supposed to drink minimum 3 to 3.5 liters of water, they were telling, no, dog, it's too much. I can't drink. For them, just drinking 1 liter of water. Now, this situation, just imagine if you're drinking less water, your kidney needs more water for flushing out the toxins. Your liver needs water to flush out the toxins. From where will the water come? It cannot come from the sky into the body and then it can wash. No way, right? Who has to take responsibility? It is your body. It is you who have to take responsibility in drinking the water. Now, what's your problem in drinking 3 liters of water ideally, or 3.5 liters to 4 liters? So why can't you have a 1.5 liters of bottle, 2 big bottle, and drink water every day and finish it up? Why you cannot do that? So you need to have a little principles of life wherein you need to have a passion in whatever you're doing. Even the food, what you eat, you should be passionate in whatever food you're eating, whether you're eating non-vegetarian or vegetarian, be thankful to that food. Now, how many of us are thankful for the animal which sacrificed its life for you to eat that food? It can be chicken, it can be fish, it can be a red meat, it can be a beef, it doesn't matter. But that particular animal has sacrificed its life for you to eat that food, isn't it? How many of us have the gratitude? Say thanks to that beautiful soul which left this planet Earth for you to be a food for you. Hardly we do, but if we can do that, why not? It will be a beautiful situation. At least that soul of that particular animal, well, maybe from above, it will be seeing and saying, this fellow is eating my meat. And at least he's saying, thank you to me. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll take a next life in a different form where they cannot eat me. So in that way, it is you who have to create a passion for everything what you do in your life. Now, water has got memory. This, I think, most of you know. And Dr. Emoto has done a lot of research on this particular aspect of water and its molecule. Now, thinking of a particular person in the positive way will create the water molecule to that particular shape. If you are talking about a negative word or in a I would say unfavorable word, it creates that particular shape of that particular word, and it is inside your body. It's not outside your body. When you think, it is inside, because the water molecule changes inside your body, not the other person's body. If, for example, you're going to scold a person now with an unfavorable word, what happens is it definitely has an impact on yourself rather than the other person. But other person also, if the person is in a lower frequency, yes, the first person can be afflicted by this vibration. The words what you're talking can affect them, but most of the time it affects you personally. So what you need to do is you need to think very positive. You need to use positive words. You need to use everything which is very, very favorable so that your body also heals by using those words. So here, this is where in Christianity, what Jesus said was, you have to be love thyself, love thy neighbor. Now, love is the essence of every living being here. So in that way, when you use a lot of words with love, everything starts falling in place. But we as human beings, I should agree, including me, we all have something called anger. We all have something called unhappiness. There are so many unfavorable emotional situations we all go through because we are all human beings. For us to get into an enlightened state of understanding of this universe, it's a path of life. We all work on it. Let's move forward. But sometimes it's better to learn how to live on planet Earth a little earlier, like as an youngster, if you can learn it, how to handle your life, not to take everything very emotionally and, go with the flow of life. I think it will be a much more beautiful journey for every human being that we collect the cells and the water molecule inside is much more like what you can see there, the compassion. It's a beautiful six-sided star, something beautiful. When you use a word, a lot of thank you in your word. You see a lot of Westerners, Asian culture, we see a little less, but in the Westerners, you will see for everything, they will say thank you. And when you see a person in the morning, maybe you're going for a walk, they will definitely, without knowing also, they'll say, very good morning to you. And when you say good morning to them, they will reply back saying, very good morning to you. Now, this is something, a culture which the Westerners have developed. But in Asia, you cannot. The moment you see a person and say good morning, very rarely they will respond to you back. They will say, why this man is wishing me? But in reality, what happens is when you utter these beautiful words, the water molecule inside your body changes, which is very, very important for you. It's for you, not the other person. And when you're thankful for anything, maybe a person did a little help to you, just say thank you to that person. It is another amazing. So there are two words I would always request every one of you to use it as frequently as possible is love you and thank you. Love and thank you are the two most powerful bioenhancers, which in my practice and when I check with the dowsing rod, the energies are amazing. So with this, what you all need to do is you are drinking water. When you're drinking water, say love, I love you to the water as many times as possible and drink. Say thank you to the water as many times as possible and drink it. Say thanks to the, maybe to the liver for, maybe one day you can say thanks to liver, one day thanks to the kidneys, and then when you drink the water, that particular vibration will go and heal that particular organs. So like this, even if you do your prayers every day, I think the whole day and 365 days, we'll have something to say thank you to our own body itself, you know. Instead of we looking at outside to pray something, we can say thanks and gratitude to our own body. Each cell, 50 trillion cells. Even one cell one day also, I don't think this lifetime we'll be able to thank all the cells. We won't be able to. So saying that water plays a very, very important role. It has an emotion, it has an memory. And very important is when I'm talking about memory, please be aware that the words, more number of times you use, it's stored in as your memory in your cell. So if you're using a lot of unfavorable words in your life, it is stored as a memory in your cells. So ultimately, it will manifest in the form of those situations. For example, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. You go on uttering this word, automatically the cells store that I don't have money. So automatically it's an empty space because you don't have, it creates. So the universe and your cells also working towards what you don't have. So what you need to do, what you need to work on in your life is be grateful. We have a lot of gratitude for what you have. So always when you have gratitude to what you have, what you don't have will come to you. This is a secret of life, wherein you will be able to attract what you don't have. Now, what's the advantage of our terahertz resonated water? It's a low resonance, frequency resonate. Now, when it is low frequency, it is much safer. Terahertz is a low frequency. Now, what are the advantages? When you're drinking a terahertz resonated water, the molecule is very, very small. It's around 7.6 hertz, which is almost the smallest in the world right now. There are other water molecule sizes available, like if you're drinking an alkaline water, it will be around 55. If you're drinking an Amrit water, it will be around 7.83. So like this, there might be technologies coming in the future where the water molecule will be much more smaller. But for your body cells, it needs only between 40 to 60 hertz is good enough, wherein it can absorb the water into the cell. Now, because the resonated water, terahertz resonated water is a linear arrangement, though entering into your aquaporin is much more easier. It just goes off inside very easily. Instead of the clusters, if it is in a cluster form, going inside will be difficult. So when you resonate the water, what happened with terahertz? Better hydration. Why? Because penetration is much more easier. The absorption is much more easier. So better hydration. Then what is the other advantage? If better hydration, you have better optimal metabolism. That means your cells can work at the optimal level, whether it is carrying the oxygen, whether it's carrying the nutrients, whether it's throwing out the waste products outside. Everything is amazing. And it's easy for absorption. Why? Because it's slippery inside. It just carries away everything inside. And oxygen carrying is much more easier when the water molecule is smaller, because oxygen can get along. And this particular resonated water has got a longer shelf life. Isn't that beautiful? But my question is, why should you store it for a long time? You prepare it fresh every day and then drink it every day. Why not? It's much more easier. If you're going to give it to your friend, maybe to resonate in 5 liters of can and give it to them. At least they can drink it for 3 to 5 days. That's good enough. So shelf life is longer. It has got an antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-radiation, anti-aging. Then of course, is something very, very beautiful, because you can prevent a lot of organisms growing in this water. When you're drinking this water, you can be healthy. But There is one thing I definitely need to let you know, that just because you're drinking this water doesn't mean that you will not fall sick. Because sometimes organisms are much more powerful than you think. You can get infected and then definitely you will fall sick. So falling sick is a part and parcel of our human life. But once in a while, maybe in a year you fall sick once or twice, it's still okay. And especially people who are all 40 or 50 plus, you are eligible. We are eligible for falling sick. But if you can take care of your nutrition, if you can take care of your water drinking passionately, if you can handle your mindset very positively, if you can handle your day-to-day sleep very beautifully, then definitely there will be a balanced lifestyle. Even if you fall sick, you can recoup much faster. Now, who can drink this designated water? Anybody can drink. Of course, there are certain restrictions. What I would tell you is, if you're having a lot of complicated diseases, start with low. Even then, you still can drink water. Maybe people will ask, doctor, with kidney failure, how do you do? Of course, kidney failure, doctors would advise you to drink only half a liter of water or 1 liter of water. It's okay. But at least you can drink Terra's water from a lower quantity, then increase it to 500. And then as long as you don't have any symptoms of any breathlessness, you still can increase the water to 750 to 1000 ml. But you should understand your body, very important. When you can understand your body, like you're drinking the water and you're feeling breathless, then you know that your body is not accepting. So reduce the amount of water. So you need to handle the water drinking capacities in your hands. But most of us, what we all are doing on this earth is, we try to blame situations. Like a person would have recommended the water, you drink the water and next day you fall sick and then you have some issues. What you will say, because of this person only, I drank the water and today I'm falling. Actually, it's not because of the person. It's because of your body is not fit enough for that particular situation. There are some unfavorable situation in the body which is actually needs to be corrected. Now, have you seen anybody drinking water and dying off? No, isn't it? By drinking water, you don't die. So in that way, drinking Terra's water, why will you die? It is going to help you. It is going to help your cellular mechanism. So why do you have to blame the person who has recommended you to drink the water? It's nothing to do with them. So what you need to understand is, the first thing, when someone gives you something, be grateful for that. If something comes to you, is grateful. But if by chance, your inner intuition says, hey, don't drink this water. If by chance, then don't drink that water, whether it's a Terra's water or Emerald water or any damn water under the sun, don't drink it. It's okay, because you go with your inner gut feeling, which is more important than just someone recommending you and you go on drinking. But by chance you accept it, before you even drink that water, be very grateful for that situation, that particular water has come to you. Be thankful to that water. Say thanks to that water. You have come to me today. Please help me in healing of my body. You have to talk to the water there. So these are all things which you can do. And it can act like a blood thinner. Why do I say a blood thinner? Because the viscosity is minus 680. So when you drink this water, you would have seen this in the blood testing, where when they do a 1 drop of blood and then show you on the screen, after drinking the water, what happens? All the cells separate and they move much faster, isn't it? So here, because of the viscosity, it is something very, very beautiful. So your blood is much more viscous. It's not thick. Other than that, finally, I would say is, it can assist in your epigenetic expression. Epigenetic expression is basically your genes will express from many situations wherein there will be all the wrong information given to your body cells, and then that in turn will manifesting in form of diseases. So that epigenetic expression can be changed for a healthier cellular lifestyle of the cell. So which can happen by drinking this water. Now, saying that, what happens is, there are a lot of good benefits you can get by drinking this water. Now, is it very safe for us to drink? Absolutely, it's a very, very safe water to drink, provided there are certain situations. If you have a lot of complicated medical illness, you better get in touch with the doctor, and then from there, or people who are experienced in Terra's resonated water, talk to them, and then, or maybe you can talk to me as well. Then we will guide you as to how much of water you need to do, who can drink, who cannot drink. All this I can guide you. Now realize the ikigai of Terra's water in your life. Realize, what is the purpose of the water coming into your life? Why is it there? What do you want to do? What do you would love to do? What is your mission in picking up this water? What do you want to do for the society? What do you want to do for this universe? You decide. You put in the ikigai principle inside and start working on the Terra's water. At the end of the day, anything begin with lesser amount. That means you can start with 250 ml to 500 ml, slowly increase 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. And then later on, maybe in 3 months' time, you can drink up to 3 to 3.5 liters. Is absolutely not a problem at all. And terahertz is going to be the future, and definitely still the world doesn't know that there is something called terahertz. You know how many people probably will know about terahertz water? Maybe 100,000 people or maybe 200,000 people will be talking about terahertz, because there are only 40 to 45,000 people who are using this instrument, terahertz resonator. And then out of that, there are so many other people who are still, they do not know about this concept of resonating the water, resonating your oil, resonating your juice. So you need to know yourself before you even look at you have to look at the holistic approach of knowing yourself. You have to work on that platform. And quest of knowledge is the key to your life. That means you need to have the passion. You need to have the requirement that you need to learn. Learning is self-learning is always there. You can go to the internet, but many times internet also doesn't give you all the positive information. You should have the clarity of what to pick up and what not to pick up. This is a very, very important aspect of life. Now here I would definitely share something which I think is something to do with your vibration. A person whose vibration is minimum 10 plus, his brain waves is at alpha level. If your vibration is between 15 to 18 inches, he's much more at theta level. So that means the higher the vibration, the better is your brain waves. So calmer the brain waves is the better approach towards your path of life. So for you to pick up information from the it can be from people, it can be from internet, it can be from books. It doesn't matter. If you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you will be able to pick up what you just need. Just like what I do in my life. For the presentation, of course, there are a lot of information available. I can't be going and picking up everything and giving it to you. I just need to give you a glimpse of what you need in your life, and then you need to work on it. So this is basically that sharing. What I do is I work on it. So you also can do the same thing. And you need to get information from the credible people or from the credible books and the credible situations where you pick up the information. And stop looking for cues of diseases from one solution, one situation. It can be either the products, drugs, or other means. You need to. It's a holistic approach. So do not think that by drinking my terahertz water, your disease should run away. You should be free of diabetes or blood pressure or heart pressure. No, it should not be your goal. Your goal should be drinking water is for existence. That's it, nothing else. And you take the responsibility of life. And so you do the groundwork. You have to go on. If someone is recommending, for example, I'll just give you, if someone is talking about terahertz water, it's your job to go and pick up all the information about terahertz water. If you're picking up all the negative information about terahertz water, then the next situation is speak to the people who know about terahertz water. But if you're going to talk to a person who doesn't even know about terahertz water, and you're going to ask him, but probably he's using another machine. Maybe he's using a hydrogen machine. He's using an alkaline alkalizer. So what will happen is he will be more convinced with his whatever system of water resonator he has. So he will recommend that only. Now, when it comes up to you, it is you who have to work on, get the information. Finally, if you are convinced and you are contented with the information and you feel by drinking this water or buying the instrument, your life is going to go one step ahead. You're going to evolve in your lifestyle. Please go ahead with it. But even if a grain of it, you feel, hey, Nola, by drinking this water, I'm not going to get the benefit. It's not going to help me at all. Then don't drink the water. It doesn't matter. Because the 8 billion population, not everybody is going to drink terahertz water. Definitely not. So in that way, if you're not going to drink, nothing is going to happen. Please follow whatever you're drinking. Whatever you're drinking is fine. No issues at all. So what you need to do is you have to stop blaming at the situations of life wherein you're working. It's mainly our deficiencies, but we will be blaming the other person as deficient. It will be our deficiency. So look into what is that you're deficient or what is lacking in you. I would rather put it as lacking in you. Work on it, upgrade yourself and start moving forward. And have a very, very balanced lifestyle. And do not expect too much. And do not promise too much also. Like I would say, a lot of people, when they're recommending terahertz water, what they will say is, you drink this water this year. See, I have a person, and they drank this water, the diabetes came down. Now, don't give such examples and make the people think that their diabetes also will come down just like that. No, you tell them this happened to this particular person. There was a good benefit. This particular person got it. So what you want to do is do not look into the disease curing. Drink water, see for yourself, but a minimum of 3 months, drink the water first, wait for your body to respond, and then only you will be able to know whether there's something helping you or not. And I still have to agree with you that there might be few people drinking this water for 10 months to 1 year and they don't feel any changes. It's okay. It's okay. No issues. But what I would say is definitely the water would have done some benefits inside the body, which this particular person may not recognize it. It's okay. It's okay. Doesn't matter. For me, I always say 8 billion population, it's after all 1, 2 people or 100 people or 200 people telling this water no good. It's okay. No problem. There needs to be someone who has to say no, right? We have to have. We should have people. So do not get dissatisfied when someone says, Nola, I don't want this water. I don't want to drink this water. I'm very happy with normal water. Fine, no problem. Bless them and then ask them to move forward. Then finally, what is that balance? You need to have a balance of life, which is the ikigai principle of life is what? Know the purpose of life must be realized. What's your purpose of life? You need to realize it. Without realizing it, you will not be able to move forward and go front. So what we can do is look into the 4 principles, go to the internet, pick up, there's a lot of videos available on this ikigai principle, start working on it, implement it in your principle, in your life, for your business, for your education, then it can be for earning money, it can be for your relationship, you name it, we can do that. We can put this principle every part of your life, because at the end of the day, if you want to love someone, what is the purpose of life? Loving someone, yes, it's there, right? But what happens when you love that person? Now, there is a lot of beautiful things happening in life, and you need to realize that beyond this physical body, there is something called the soul. Your soul needs to be happy. If your soul is happy, that means your path of life is beautiful. That means the love vibration, what you're creating on the path of life is beautiful. You need to be contented with that. But at the end of the day, what is that you're going to get back? When you love someone, in return, what you're getting back is the person can love you back as well.